Yeah, make sure we're recording. Welcome in to another episode of the LSMN Press Box. It is a podcast, but Press Box. Last time I said episode 2. This technically would be episode 3. We're going to stop numbering them. I'm just going to give today's date. So today's date is January 30th. We have had a crazy time in getting the press box made because we haven't been in school. 4 days off with the snow from last week. We didn't do a podcast last week because we brought you overtime. So no podcast next week as well with overtime coming out. And then I'm off that next week, so we'll see if there's one. So this might be the last press box for 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll talk about a lot of things in this episode. But joining me on this episode is Alex and Aiden again. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things, all pro sports kind of related. Nothing really, I don't think we're talking any college sports anymore. We're
Not really.
kind of done in that lull before. Nobody really cares about college basketball until you get closer to March.
Yeah.
And then, football is done, and nobody cares about spring football. As much as ESPN wants you to believe that spring football matters, it does not matter. But big thing coming up that we want to talk about, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl happening this Sunday. Next Sunday. Next Sunday. My bad. It feels like forever to get to like national championship.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, always the 2 weeks off really throws me. I don't like that we've gone to that kind of schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of I see why. I mean, it builds a good amount of anticipation, so like I'm okay with it, but also kind of does slow everything down a little bit.
It gives you a lot to talk about, sure, for like the sports shows and everything, but I don't think it's good for like a viewing standpoint. I almost forget that like the national championship's going to happen in like I do know it's going to, but in the back of my head it's like it is coming up on Monday or whatever. I don't like that it's on a Monday. Wish it was on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Super Bowl Sunday. NFL always plays on Sunday except when they play on Saturday or Thursday or Monday, but Sunday, it seems like the NFL day, and they keep the Super Bowl on a Sunday. I really like that. So I just think college football should adapt to more of that.
Just makes sense in my head that it would be on a Saturday. That's like the college day.
Right.
But
yeah.
The Super Bowl, though, is the Seahawks and the Patriots. The Patriots back in the Super Bowl after having, 2 down years where they went 4-13 or whatever it was?
It must be, it must be terrible to be a Patriots fan.
Right?
I mean,
you go to how many Super Bowls in a row?
They didn't give up anything either. I mean, they lost Brady, but then they immediately they had one bad QB, but
Mac
to
Jones
Drake
was
May.
all right.
Yeah. You're making all good points. They lose Belichick, and you think, they can't get anybody better. But the Titans go and do the dumbest thing in the world and fire Vrabel. So he just goes back to where he played and brings back like the Belichick feel almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, losing Belichick is not that big a deal. I mean, he's not a Hall of Fame coach, so doesn't matter.
Dude, that's another topic.
Decision.
Holy moly.
Not a Hall of Fame worthy first ballot for worthy coach.
More
That's
Super
crazy.
Bowls than almost most franchises.
I think he has the most
like 8.
Super Bowls. Yeah, he has 8. 2 as an assistant, 6 as a head coach / GM. But I think he would have the most Super Bowls outside the Packers, right?
I believe so.
The Packers have. Actually, he might have more than even them. They only have 6.
Packers have 5.
They have 5?
Yeah.
The Cowboys have 4.
Cowboys have 5.
5?
Steelers have 6.
Steelers have 6.
Yeah.
I really should know
Brady,
this.
I think Belichick, out of like any organization or like person, I think he has the most because Brady has 7 and then Belichick has 8, so it's probably him, but I could be wrong. But
yeah,
that sounds.
But just because he was mean to the media, they keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
It's not worthy.
Yeah,
we
that's stupid.
really should get rid of all media voting for Hall of Fames.
I
the
think for
MLB
almost every MLB, it's really
is
bad.
so bad.
Yep.
I mean, there's a person this year who put a David Wright only ballot, and I like David Wright, huge Mets fan, so obviously I'm a big David Wright fan. But he's the only person on your ballot that you said was Hall of Fame worthy.
I feel like the Hall of Fame for the MLB, like the people that are on the ballot have gotten like worse and worse every year. Honestly, like this next year, like nobody should get in. Honestly, like in
I
my
think
Well,
Buster
opinion.
Posey will make it in.
The problem with the ballot, in my opinion, is you always have to like make up for the guys that didn't get in last year or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
like this year's ballot was 2 guys that probably should have gone in.
Yeah.
Who cares about first ballot or any of that? Like, this stuff doesn't matter. Just when a guy gets eligible, if they were a Hall of Fame, or they should go in. It shouldn't be like, oh, we'll put him in next year. He's not a first
He's not a
ballot
first
worthy.
ballot,
Like,
Yeah, it's
who
stupid.
cares? Just either he's a Hall of Famer or he's not.
It doesn't say first ballot on the plaque. So I don't-
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great point. It doesn't say first ballot on the plaque, so just put him in the Hall. Now, what's y'all's opinion on like the NFL doesn't really have this problem, but the MLB does with like the steroid guys.
It's kind of a whole can of worms because like I think now, especially since like people like Bonds and stuff like that are off the ballot, that if you do start letting people in like a Manny Ramirez or
Well, he's done. He's out of eligibility.
he's done now. But like if he made it in, it would have been a whole nother issue if he made it in over like someone like Bonds. So I think now that they've like fully decided that no steroid guys are gonna make it in, you kind of have to be consistent unless you're gonna completely change how the eligibility works and put those guys back on the ballot now that they're allowing
Yeah.
it. But I think at this point they've dug a hole too deep that they kind of have just to stick with.
Well, and there are no more like steroid guys left on the ballot, or ones that could make it anyway, right? Because like all the like big guys, like
You've still got A-Rod.
I think
He's still
A-Rod's
got
the big one.
eligibility.
he's never gonna get it.
I mean, that's such a bad take
Well-
though, because he was a Hall of Famer before he
It's the
got
same
the
with
caught.
problem
Bonds,
with
though.
these, I think
Mm.
taking steroids, like obviously it helped Barry Bonds in his home run production, but like he was a really good player before he was taking
Yeah, he
steroids.
won
Like,
a World Series as a fast guy.
he
with the
never won a
Pirates.
World
I mean,
Series.
the not win a World Series.
Barry Bonds was on the '79 Pirates.
That's a little too far back.
Oh well, he would have been a rookie, but no.
No.
What do you,
Bonds, there's a whole YouTube
Mm.
video by SB Nation. They're like, why did Barry Bonds never win a World Series? The closest he got was 0-2
Okay.
against the Angels.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the
I could have
Giants,
sworn he was like a maybe he was on the Pirates that went deep in the playoffs.
The
but he
I think he
Pirates,
was
went
the
deep,
Pirates
He's
yeah.
a
made
really
the
speedy guy on the Pirates.
they made the
but-
championship round like every year, but never
Okay.
got to the
Okay.
World
Maybe
Series.
I'm just confusing because you're right. '79 does sound way too
very early.
Because
too
Bonds
early,
retired
yeah.
in like 07. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, there's that. But he was a Hall of Fame guy because he had like 200 stolen bases.
Yeah, he
Before
was
he ever started hitting
already-
home runs.
Yep.
And then he broke the home run record. Whether you agree that, I mean, he still had to hit the ball.
Yeah, you still have to locate and hit the ball.
The
and-
only thing he did was take it so he could hit it out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I mean, he really didn't need to since he was a lefty.
yeah.
With that wall.
I mean,
out
you
there,
look
but-
at the home runs that he hit, like they would go like that one in the World Series, it was like late in game 2, he hits it and the guy on the Angels bench is like, "Oh, that's the furthest ball I've ever seen hit." I'm like, "Did steroids really did you really need steroids for that home run?" Like I feel like if he didn't take him, he still would have ended up with like 600 or so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I
The
think by
thing I think that steroids did, and McGuire's talked about this, it helped you stay healthy.
That was
that
the
is a
big
good
thing.
point.
That was the biggest thing about it. That's why like the cyclist did it.
Yeah.
It didn't help Lance Armstrong necessarily do
Yeah.
anything faster. It just helped him stay healthy so he could train as hard as he
Yeah,
could
and
always.
Yeah.
Bonds needed that because
I mean-
he had to play left field because there was no DH back then.
Right.
He had to play left field at like 40-something years old. So
Yeah.
that I guess you could say that would be helpful, but it's still, I mean, it made him into this like crazy freak of an athlete. And
Yeah, I mean, before he even signed with the Giants, which I think is when like it's kind of believe where he started, he already had 50 career OPS of 883 at that point. Like he was already a top 5 hitter in the league before juicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes
Yeah.
Hall of Fame easily.
That's
if he
the
didn't
same
take
with
it.
A-Rod. He was a god level shortstop with Seattle and Texas.
I think if
then went to New
A-Rod
York.
A-Rod played today and put those numbers up today, like he might be close to being like a $1 billion player. If
Well,
you think about it, like
the way the Dodgers are spending money, you never know. He could
Yeah.
defer his entire contract. We'll get back to the MLB conversation here in a second. We were on the Super Bowl, and so we got off topic. But Seattle and the Patriots, you got a quarterback in Drake May, first Super Bowl ever, going against Sam Darnold, who's going up in his first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah.
And if you would have told somebody in 2019 that Sam Darnold was going to go to a Super Bowl before any of the 2018
Yeah.
that's
quarterback
crazy.
class,
Absolutely.
I
Absurd.
would have looked at you and laughed.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think
who we got?
I feel like the Patriots, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's really close. I think Patriots might pull it off though, because I feel like they're kind of being slept on because they haven't like completely blown out any teams in the playoffs, and they like haven't had the hardest schedule. But I feel like I still trust Drake May to kind of figure it out. But at the same time, that defense for the Seahawks is really intense. So I feel like it's going to be a coin flip.
I don't know. I keep talking with my friends about this, and I feel like it all points to like a Seahawks win. Just based on, I mean, they've gone through the playoffs quite easily. I mean, they dismantled the 49ers. The Rams, credit to them, kept it close for like the whole game, but I think like the Patriots are a great team, obviously, but like they've had statistically one of the easiest paths to the Super Bowl ever, including regular season and playoffs. Like, great team, but I just think Seattle, I mean, they're loaded on both sides of the ball, and yeah, Seattle by like 10 at least, I think, in my opinion.
The Seattle having the defense and the offense clicking right now, I think, is what gives them the edge.
Yeah.
Like I think you kind of said it. The Patriots feel like a team that hasn't had a good schedule, but they've found ways to win, and they could find a way to win versus Seattle.
Yep.
But I think the main thing with that is I don't trust the defense of the Patriots against a clicking offense of the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know why I said it that way, but the if they're fully on like they were versus the 49ers, there's no stopping them.
That's a good, yeah.
The Super Bowl will be a blowout in my opinion. But if Darnold starts to look like, say, 2021 Sam Darnold or something like that,
Or even
Ghosts.
Minnesota playoff Sam Darnold.
yeah, the seeing the ghosts Minnesota playoff Darnold, it might go the other way. I think the defense for Seattle is super scary, but I think Vrabel's kind of given Drake May this confidence to run around and throw a ball a little bit harder, a little bit further, whatever, just because of the way he coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
I was kind of talking about this with my friends. I think that Vrabel has actually allowed the Patriots to go back to more of a old school kind of offense where their quarterback is actually reading the defense. I don't know. We've never talked about it this way on this. It seems like now in today's NFL, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, they actually don't
definitely
read.
did talk about this because we talked about your.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked
But-
about like
'Cause then
Josh Allen, like
we
hero
talked
ball.
about Allen kind of ruining development systems.
Yeah, but I don't think I've said it this way. I don't think he reads a defense like Peyton Manning could see that Ray Lewis was standing 3 yards off the hash, so he knew that was cover 6.
Right.
Yeah.
And checked everything and ran a slant right across his face for a touchdown or whatever, right? I don't think anybody's doing that anymore, but I think some of these teams are actually going back to it, and it kind of feels like the Patriots kind of are.
Yeah.
Because, like, the game versus the Broncos, there was, like, 2 routes which Drake May made a hand motion. It was a go route, and he looked at it and went, "Nah, that sucks." And it took a sack and then threw it out of bounds late in the game, just to because it looked like he read the defense of like that might be open, so let's try it. It didn't work out,
Right.
but I think that the reading the defense was there and the ability to change the play rather than the just 3 routes, and if those 3 guys aren't open, I'm not doing anything but running kind of thing. Because I feel like Drake May doesn't run as in college. He was a runner, and now in the NFL,
He did
feel
run
like he's more of a pocket
He
guy.
did run to seal the game.
He did
that
run
was
to seal the game,
and he
You're right.
called that, didn't he?
I don't know if he called
That's
it.
what people were saying. He called the play like himself, and then he
If he
went
did,
and executed
that's spectacular.
yeah.
It kind of proves my point. If he did call it and he ran the play, like read the defense, said, "I'm just going to get this first down." I kind of like that more than some of the other quarterbacks out there, like Jackson Dart going out there and just running to run and getting destroyed.
Yep.
How many concussions did he have this year?
What, 4?
4 or 5?
5? Jeez, yeah. But that's our Super Bowl matchup. So we'll see what happens. We got Patriots. Then Aiden, you're taking the Seahawks. I'll probably take the Seahawks as well. But one of the cool things with the Super Bowl, I'm sure everybody out there has a favorite of this, is food. So, Alex, what is your go-to Super Bowl snack or food or whatever?
So it kind of, I mean, I think that you got to go like base options. You got to go wings. That's
Wings,
base
yes,
option. But last year we tried this. I don't even know where my dad found it. It was this like Italian dip thing, and you get like just like bread pieces, like you toast those, and it's basically just like normal like shit or stuff you'd put on a sandwich, and yeah, it tastes really good.
Whoops.
Oh boy, what am I gonna do with y'all?
Oh,
All right.
no.
So Italian dip. That's a new one for a Super Bowl. If going back to the wings, I'm always a wings guy. But boneless or bone wings?
If I'm buying them somewhere from like a store like Wingstop, I'm going boneless. But if we're actually making them, go bone in.
I
That's
completely
fair.
agree. If you make them at home, it's bone in because you can kind of control everything.
You know, like,
how much meat is on that bone. Whereas if you're buying them from like Wingstop, you want boneless because you almost don't get any meat on the bone stuff from them. Is Wingstop the go-to?
If I'm gonna go somewhere, I think that's probably the best one. Better than like Buffalo's. I'm not a big Buffalo's fan. I'm gonna be honest.
I haven't been to either of those places in years, if I'm honest. I eat the only times I eat wings, my mom's boyfriend makes wings for us a lot, but that's basically the only time I eat them.
I'm not great at making like some of the sauces for wings.
You just gotta buy.
Is like my issue. Wingstop used to be my go-to. Buffalo Wild Wings was amazing back in the day. I think it was around like 2012. This sounds really weird with y'all being in high school now, but like Buffalo Wild Wings, like something happened with their menu, the way they made something, the way they shipped things around the country, whatever it was. They stopped being good in around 2012. Because I lived on Buffalo Wild Wings as a like young baseball player. With after a game, go get some wings.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had to play a doubleheader, get some wings, go back or whatever. But the Wingstop, I think, has changed theirs a little bit too, as well. So my go-to right now is actually Pluckers.
That's a fair pick. That's Pluckers is
there's one around the corner from my house, so it's real easy pickup.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But also, I feel like they're the ones that give you the biggest wings right now.
100%. Yeah, that's
and they have so many options.
Yeah.
I don't know what's your go-to wing flavor. Are you a classic Buffalo? What's your like go-to?
Yeah, usually I'm going Buffalo or like the original hot. That's the
What about you, Aiden?
I like buffalo definitely is like the go-to. Although like the balance of like the flavor of buffalo to like the hotness has to be correct, or it can be like really bad both ways in my opinion. Garlic parm also I like, and then like honey kind of anything I think is pretty good. Like honey barbecue or like honey butter. I think that's what Whataburger does.
I will say lemon pepper is very slept on. If
I haven't had those. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm a big barbecue guy,
Yeah, that's
but
good too.
I'll switch up what barbecue I'm feeling based on like the day. Like if you go to Pluckers, the Korean barbecue style they have, like it's like super hot, but it's really tasty, really smoky.
Yeah.
I really like that like a lot. Did I hear a control room opinion?
What do you want?
Yes. So, for my opinion on wings, because I've been getting Wingstop way too often recently.
Fair.
I'd say buffalo is great. You can't go wrong with buffalo. It's perfectly spicy and it also has good flavor. But the Cajun at Wingstop, it's crazy spicy at times. But with ranch, it honestly kind of beats buffalo. It is different. But
So you're a big ranch guy then?
I do like ranch just because
Love
it mellows
ranch.
out the spice enough. I mean, I still like them spicy, but it mellows it out to where you can also taste it better.
Yeah.
But I haven't had
say-
Pluckers before. I do need to try that at some point.
You definitely if you like the Cajun from Wingstop, the Pluckers also has like a Cajun kind of vibe. It's they call it something else, but it's like Cajun Zing or something like that. It's really good. It's like Caribbean jerk or something. And
Yeah.
that's really good. It's kind of like a buffalo kind of vibe. Or barbecue kind of mixed with buffalo kind of vibe, but it's really good.
Yeah. I will say if you're getting boneless, you have to get ranch. That's the
Yeah, that's a.
if
good
you're
take.
getting boneless, it has to be with ranch.
You ready for another Beals hot take
No.
coming in?
No.
Oh boy, you're not ready for this. I don't like ranch. I
Ranch
don't like
is
blue
bad.
cheese. I don't like
Okay,
Blue
nothing.
cheese
That's
is
a-
fair.
that's
That's like
a
moldy
base-
I don't
cheese.
want. I just want the wings.
Like-
If I'm dying from the heat, I'm dying from the heat. But I don't like
Yeah.
ranch. Don't mellow it out.
Well, like for me, like it's weird because like with like chicken nuggets, which is basically just a boneless wing, I don't like ranch. But with a wing, I'm like it has to go in pair.
It just works.
It's like yeah,
do you,
it's like
do you
these
like ranch
pizza
on like
Tabasco.
other food or anything like other
Well,
than
like-
like a salad? Is there?
Yeah,
are
like
you
obviously other than, like the
putting
basic or like
ranch
vegetables or
on
salad.
anything?
Not really.
No, like carrot sticks dipped in
Oh,
ranch for
like
like
carrot
a
sticks,
snack.
yeah, like vegetables
Oh,
and
you'll-
stuff
you'll
like
do
that.
that? Okay,
Like
okay.
like the very basic stuff ranch that goes with ranch. I'll have.
See, I'm not a big ranch guy. I like vinaigrettes a lot. If like I didn't actually like a lot of salad as a teenager and stuff. Imagine that a teenager doesn't like salad. I wouldn't,
Wow.
Shocker. But my fiance has really gotten me into vinaigrettes, so I really like the vinaigrettes. I just don't really. I haven't ever gotten back on the ranch train. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the zing to it. It's a
Yeah.
little just too.
I will say with
Something.
salads, it's down there in terms of the dressing for salad. Like
Mm.
I will go Italian or like Caesar before I go ranch.
Okay. And what other you got a food, Aiden?
I make a pretty mean buffalo chicken dip. So that's kind of my go-to for like Super Bowl foods. But I also like just like pizza or like nachos. Like that works too.
The nice spread of like finger foods is really
Yeah, I think
a
it has
good-
to be finger food.
good thing for a Super Bowl that I really enjoy.
Yeah, anything that works at just being put on like an island and letting everyone kind of go and do their own thing. That's a sweet spot right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely agree. The other big thing with the Super Bowl is commercials. We've already had a few released. I don't know if y'all have seen them.
I haven't
Gonna
seen
be honest,
any.
I lost care for the Super Bowl commercials once they started like actually hyping him up and like making him a big thing.
Interesting.
Where,
I want to see them for the first time during the game.
I completely agree with that. I do not like releasing them early, like with this the couple that I've seen already as Super Bowl ads. It's like they shouldn't be a Super Bowl ad if they're not released
for the Super
during
Bowl.
the Super Bowl.
like I'll always be a big fan of like any big movie trailers dropping for that. That's always cool. But like I think since it's become like the big thing of whatever celebrity they can get, like that, like it kind of just lost the point. Because like, how
Like,
many
who
memorable
cares?
Super Bowl commercials have you seen that were just like a ton of celebrities being in it?
I can think of older commercials with some
Yeah.
celebrities, but nothing recently that was like, here's a celebrity in a commercial.
Yeah.
I would say that Super Bowl commercials peaked with the Puppy Monkey Baby Taco Bell commercial. That was
is
the peak of
that is
Super Bowl
a good
commercials.
Super Bowl commercial. It doesn't beat the Anheuser-Busch commercials for me though. Those are always classic. Also Doritos, the time machine. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, the Doritos time machine
lost me.
commercial is
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of
that's
that.
a good commercial. Also, I know it's not technically school appropriate, but the Budweiser what's up?
That was a very big
commercial.
one, yeah.
That was
I don't
always a good
recall
one
seeing that
from
one.
my youth.
I only know that one
was
because
Yeah.
I only know that one because of if you ever watched the Scary Movie movies.
yeah,
That was the only one where that's how I knew that.
That's the Mask doing it.
The
with
Mask,
the tongue,
yeah.
With the, yeah.
Yeah.
That yeah. The I feel like Bud Light Night one was a good Super Bowl one. You know, commercials, you said something about trailers. The commercials used to be a lot more nationally based during the Super Bowl. It was
Right.
only the national commercials. And I feel like since like kind of COVID era, they've required a lot more local commercials. And so we have like random like Kia dealerships and whatnot.
Yeah, whatever local lawyer.
Yeah,
Gets a little spot.
Thomas J. Henry.
Yeah, the Texas Hammer.
The Texas Hammer, yeah.
Jim Adler.
Get whoever you need in your crash.
Ben Abbott and Associates.
Yeah, he had what like 3 or 4 cowboys on
Yeah.
his commercial last. It was like, why did we get this like 4 times? It's really
Y'all remember
annoying.
that one ad?
The Tubi commercial.
Yeah, dude,
Dude,
that
that's
was
actually the-
so. That was kind of funny looking back on it, but like
Yeah.
I remember we were watching it like my grandparents' like TV like projector room, and all of a sudden the screen pops up and it starts moving. I'm like, who set on the remote?
Yeah,
and
that
like,
was-
I think everybody turned to their like older, whether it was a parental unit, grandparent, whatever. They were like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing? It's the Super Bowl.
What
You
are you
can't touch the
doing?"
remote."
Yeah, it was.
It was
very-
actually a clever device to use for.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was very awesome for me because I had a lot of like I had a couple grandparents over there who did not understand technology and didn't also understand that that was a commercial. So even after the commercial ended, they just assumed we were all gaslighting them into like
That's
screwing with the
Easy.
remote.
Yeah, that was actually probably a pretty good commercial that has come out. But like I don't know how y'all feel. The releasing of the Super Bowl commercials before the Super Bowl
it takes all the
just
fun away.
really bumming me
It's
out.
like I'm never gonna get excited for a State Farm commercial, so I don't really like I don't care
I mean,
about.
those are funny sometimes.
Yeah, but like whenever they're like hyping up these big announcements, like oh we're gonna release our Super Bowl commercial, it's like okay, it's an insurance company. I'm not
I
like
just
on the edge of my seat.
I don't want to find out there's gonna be a Super Bowl commercial like over like Twitter or Instagram. Like I was on Twitter last February or whatever, and it's like, oh, Creed is gonna be in a Paramount Plus commercial, and I'm like, oh yay, Creed, that's my favorite band. But like at the same time, it would have been cool during the Super Bowl to be like, hey, that's Scott Stapp
Sure.
from Creed. I'm like, what the heck? Why'd you have to
I
ruin
always
it?
say like I don't care about spoilers like for movies or anything like that because I will enjoy the movie no matter what.
Mhm.
But it does feel like spoiled for like a Super Bowl commercial because it you're not like actively looking forward to it. Like you say,
Yeah.
you don't care that it's a State Farm commercial. You just want to have something fun. Like sure, I remember that the Puppy Monkey Baby was a Taco Bell commercial, or I remember the Doritos Time Machine commercial, but the like the brand doesn't really matter. The only reason I associate it with the brand is because that's who made it. Sure, but Did y'all know? Let's see if y'all knew this about the commercials. You know that close to like 80% of the Super Bowl commercials are made here in Dallas.
I didn't know.
I would not have guessed it. No.
Yeah. It's I don't actually remember the name of the company, but they are down here in Richardson.
Oh, cool.
It is the Richards Group, or it was the Richards Group. Mr. Richards got in a little hot water, little trouble, and they sold the company, and
Ooh.
Oh, no.
it's now named like some 3-letter acronym that I can't remember. But it was the Richards Group, and they make close to like 80% of the Super Bowl the big Super Bowl commercials, as they have one of the largest studios in the DFW area. Now, Taylor, the guy who makes Yellowstone, he's actually producing the largest thing now because he's building brand new studios
Right.
here in North Texas. But the Richards Group had some amazing studios in their, like, I don't know, 10-story building that they were in over here in Richardson. They have something like, I think it's 30 sound editing rooms. I've met some of their sound engineers that these guys are like such sound. They refuse to like drive into the mountains if they can help it. They don't fly ever without, and if they do have to do any of that, they use ear protection. They're like super sensitive to their ears because
Wow.
they're such
Yeah.
sound guys. And they sit in a room with all the soundproofing and everything and just listen to Super Bowl commercials almost. They do a lot of music too
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah. So,
I don't-
fun fact for you.
Yeah. I don't think I could be a sound engineer. I think I've mentioned this before, probably not on the podcast, but yeah, my hearing is destroyed. I have permanent ringing in both my ears.
Mine is too.
And tinnitus.
Yeah. So
Ear infections for me.
yeah, no, mine's just having headphones in all the time, and then also at my house I have like a really good like record player and good speakers that is on blast constantly. So probably not great for my hearing.
Yeah, I get the on
probably
my
not.
my phone every night. It's like volume should be turned down, and I'm like, no, like I literally can't
Sounds
hear
better.
it. Like,
Nice. So, all right. Well, moving on, since we've spent a lot of time on that first topic. Next big thing probably going on right now, the MLB offseason, full swing. We had, I kind of alluded to it earlier, the Dodgers deferring all their contracts and everything. They just got another big contract in Kyle Tucker.
Pretty much just confirmed the lockout will 100% be happening in 2027.
Yeah.
It's
There's
just a matter of how long that lockout will be. I
Yeah.
imagine it's a full season lockout kind of
Which-
thing.
that would be
Yeah,
terrible.
but I think it has definitely made this offseason really interesting with certain contracts, because like with or like certain trades as well. Because I know like the Mackenzie Gore trade really falls apart if we do get a lockout, because that means we get 1 year of Mackenzie Gore and he's gone, because that he only has 2 years.
Does the lockout actually count toward?
I believe it's because it's not through games; it's through just how long.
So like, I don't know, somebody who has like a 10-year deal, say Soto, if we're locked out a whole year, that's a year off that deal and he gets fully paid and
I
everything?
believe so. I mean, I could always be wrong, but I remember seeing a bunch of articles talking about that Mackenzie Gore trade, with that
feel like
being
that
a
would-
huge problem, was that it is counting on there not being a season-long lockout.
That would be a huge loss for the team, I feel like, because how are you getting that money to pay the player? Like, you have no revenue coming in.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
that's kind of the main point of the lockout,
Well,
I
yeah.
guess.
they should have a little bit of revenue, even though the games aren't on TV. The TV contracts are still there.
Yeah.
Still revenue sharing between the teams and everything. But yeah, you don't have ticket sales. You don't have
Merch,
concession,
food.
merch, whatever sales going on. I guess you could still have merch. People could buy things. But yeah, that's a really interesting point, that the Mackenzie Gore, because we're talking about the Mackenzie Gore. It seems like the Rangers are in a win this year, next year
Yeah.
if it's around kind of mode.
I think, well, because I mean, obviously, Chris Young has been saying that they do plan to win championships, but I there always comes a point where it's like, okay, saying one thing and not doing the other. Like it, for a minute, it really didn't seem like we were going out of our way to still be a championship team. I mean, with losing Jaime and Adolis, who while their offense has fallen off a cliff, we didn't bring anything in to help that subtraction. It was just
I mean,
getting
they
rid
got
of stuff.
Nimmo and
Yeah,
Jansen.
and then they made the trade with Nimmo and Simeon, which seemed like we get slightly better offense for worse defense. It didn't seem like a big enough shift forward or backwards to really show that we're committed to being more than just an 81 team again. But I think this is a move I feel like that finally showed, okay, we are still trying to have some sort of championship window while we're still with Seager's peak, Langford's still on contract.
They got to re-sign Langford.
Evolve. I feel like, I don't know. We definitely need to,
Yep.
but I'm not confident that they actually will.
I'm scared. I don't want to lose him. Like I don't know. I feel like they would be so stupid to not re-sign him though. I mean, he's only getting better.
The thing about Chris Young, I don't trust him. I feel like everybody was like, "Oh, he's the one that won a World Series."
Yeah, he gets so many points for
and as much as I hated JD, I think really the only thing that the reason we won a World Series was the move JD's made, but he just kind of got lucked into it almost because it's the same moves he made back in the 2010s.
Yep.
Go sign or go trade for like the biggest pitcher you can
that.
and try to make a run. Cliff Lee all over again kind of thing.
Yeah.
It worked out for the Rangers, even though they fired JD and Chris Young's the one that did it. Did Chris Young do it, or did JD
I
kind
mean,
of
Yeah.
Daniels
set
made
everything
most
up?
of that roster. Not that. I mean, Chris Young definitely played a part in putting some of it together, but it was mainly
I mean, he
a
did make,
JD roster.
I will say, I give him credit for the key trades that he did make during that year. I mean, without Scherzer and Montgomery, while Scherzer obviously got hurt and had his issues, I think the Montgomery trade especially really helped propel us. I mean, he had some really pivotal moments, and while we couldn't re-sign him, I think he was a large part in why we won the World Series. And Aroldis Chapman obviously was shaky regular season, but he was 100% locked in during the playoffs for the most part. So I think that I'll give credit for Chris Young to that. And also, I mean, no one I think expected every single player to have the fall-offs that they did in 24 and 25. I mean, you see Adolis putting up the best year of his career, and I think at that point he was like 31, maybe like 29. So no one's expecting him to go from that to being a bottom 10 hitter in the league. Like that's just, you don't expect that. Same with Jonah Heim being an above average hitter and a good defender to being a okay defender, awful hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
that's true. You don't expect some of the fall off when I don't feel like I trust Chris Young yet. Maybe it's the fact that he hired a questionable manager.
I like
After
Schumacher.
having
You're not on
Bochy,
the Schumacher
I
train.
like Schumacher personally.
I don't trust it.
I mean, he took a crappy Marlins team to the playoffs.
I
Like,
think-
there's something
yeah.
there.
So I think he knows how to get the most out of younger, less proven players, which I think for a while it looked like that's what this Rangers team was gonna be. Now with the additions of Nimmo and stuff like that, it kind of doesn't seem as much. But we still have a lot of players like a Josh Smith. Imagine Cody Freeman will be on the major league roster this season again.
Yep.
And Alejandro Osuna, you're probably still gonna expect him getting playing time because I'd imagine Carter is gonna miss another however many games.
Carter will miss time. It's a given.
Same with Seager. So I think knowing that we have a roster full of players who definitely have injury histories, so we will have to be expecting lesser proven guys to come up for us. I think Schumacher has a way to be able to get the most out of those players and figure out their role. Maybe hopefully play more to what our park gives us. Because, I mean, when you look at that 2023 World Series roster outside of the big offensive seasons by Seager and Simeon, you had players like Robbie Grossman, who probably didn't bat great, but I remember he had like a 330 OBP. Same with Jankowski with a 320, 330.
Yeah.
It was the smaller guys who got on base. Like Ezekiel Duran also was amazing that season whenever
Yeah.
Seager went down. So I think if we can find a way to really bring back that small ball OBP heavy play, that's where that team will actually succeed with a park that plays almost against the offense.
It was just so crazy. Like I feel like, and like I don't want to say fluke because it wasn't a fluke in my opinion, but it was such a like crazy flash in the pan, right? Because that regular season, I remember they finished. They went to Seattle and lost 1-0, lost the division. I'm like, oh well, we're going to the playoffs, but they're not going to do anything. And then literally they go 11-0 on the road. Everybody plays great leading up to the World Series, and in the World Series, like it just seemed like everything went right at the same time. And I feel like that's why that's probably a part of why you think maybe Chris Young doesn't deserve a lot of the credit. I mean, a lot of these guys like just went crazy when you didn't expect them to, and now they're not good or they're not even here anymore. I mean, there are like less than 10 players from that team that are still here. So
Yeah, the thing about Chris Young just is probably that I probably don't give enough credit to him trusting guys enough. I probably also don't like Schumacher for the same reason. I think the Marlins team that you said was a bad Marlins team to get to the playoffs, I think was probably better than most people give credit to. And I think Schumacher didn't manage it great. I think some of his pitching decisions for that Marlins team was pretty questionable. That's maybe what scares me about the Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm not really watching the Rangers right now anyways. I mean, if they're on national TV, I'll watch them, but I'm not paying $150-$200 or whatever it is to watch them on Victory Plus.
It was only 100
When I
a year.
get-
Only 100
Well,
when I get
again.
the stars for free, I don't understand that. We could have a hour-long podcast about that one fact. The stars are free. The Ducks, even on Victory Plus, are
Nick, they're
free.
paying you now. Like every night
And
they've
yeah,
had like a
exactly.
$3,000 winner.
You can watch a game of your local team and get paid to watch said game, but the Rangers you got to pay $150. It was $100 last
Yeah.
year. Now it's $150.
That's true.
I don't understand because like, are they not making ad revenue?
I mean,
off of
hockey
it,
is a
or-
less popular. I mean, you look at like the player salaries. Like the highest paid is like Kaprizov. He's at like 17 million, and like the highest paid MLB
He's the
player
highest AVA. I think the highest paid is
still Ovechkin.
still Ovechkin.
And
yeah.
then like you've got Ohtani. Like Ovechkin's on like 150 something million, and then Ohtani's at like 700 million. I mean, baseball's bigger in every
that is
aspect.
true. Your payroll is way different. You don't have a salary cap, so yeah, maybe that's where they're justifying that everybody pays this 150, and maybe I will end up paying 150. Most of the time, I can't watch it anyways. I'm working Rough Rider games, so I'm
Yeah.
technically watching a Rangers team, but I'm watching the AA team from behind the music computer or behind the replay machine at the Rough Riders or behind
Yeah.
a camera or whatever I'm working that night. From getting to see Ozuna in AA before he goes up
right
to
before
the
that call.
main roster or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it.
I mean, it's like right now as just like a diehard baseball fan, I'll still justify paying for Victory Plus because I mean I make worth of it because I watch every single game that I can. But as also a Mets fan who would really love it if they just figured out how to not have out of market games on MLB TV, like. The day that I can watch Rangers and Mets on MLB TV will be the day I
Well,
make a full switch.
Are we gonna get MLB TV this year? Because ESPN now owns MLB TV, and so I don't know how that app is gonna work. For years I've milked one of my friends' MLB TVs because he had T-Mobile, so he got it for free.
Yeah.
So we just shared the code around, and typically we all weren't watching at the same time because we're all so busy that we could make it work. But I don't know if that's going to be a thing anymore because ESPN now owns it, just like the NFL Network and everything like that. So I don't know what's going to happen with MLB TV.
Yeah, that is definitely worrying because this was the first year I was like fully considering getting it because My little brother has no interest in any sports. Like he plays like little league baseball, but he doesn't watch any baseball game. Like we take him to a Rangers game and he's kind of just sitting there. Huge Marcus Semien fan though, biggest Marcus Semien fan of all time. So when we told him he was traded to the Mets, every single day he's like, "Are we gonna watch Mets games?" Like, yeah, we are gonna watch Mets games. So first time I've ever seen him want to watch a baseball game, and so I really want to make sure I can get him to watch some Mets baseball.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, what the
Yeah.
price is going to be, if it's going to be under the ESPN Unlimited nonsense, because that's
ESPN
just
Plus,
ruined
ESPN
ESPN Unlimited is
so-
awful.
It's
the
so dumb.
3 tiers to ESPN has made everything really hard to find.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's a real worrying thing for the MLB. You have a cover star on the video game that's repeated. You have
most
a
boring one, too.
lockout on tap. You got the Mets doing or whatever the Mets doing with all their infielders. Though, one of the brightest things, the Rangers announced Sebastian Wilcott will be at spring training.
Hopefully, I will see him live. That is
Do we think he makes opening day roster?
No, not
No,
a
I don't
chance.
think he's ready yet.
I think
Well,
maybe
he could
in-
have a spot. You could play him at third base.
Where
I
does
think
Young
I
go?
believe Chris Young. I think Schumacher.
is just too injury prone.
I
like
think
Josh,
they've
not
said
Chris.
with Young is that they're gonna give him trust this year to have him. I think we could maybe see Walcott in September, like as a 28-man call up.
Yeah.
But I don't see him getting any playing time before, and I honestly don't think I want to. I don't want him to be rushed.
Yeah, he's
the
gonna.
only thing
confidence.
about him being rushed or anything like that, because you could say he's possibly being rushed. The only thing I'll say that he wasn't rushed is because last year in July and August he hit for 419.
Yeah, I mean, sending him to
had
AAA was 100% the right
28
move.
home runs in those 2 months and had I want to say 56 game on base streak, not hits, just streak of getting on base, walk, hit by pitch, whatever. So it doesn't touch any records or anything like that. But he killed it in July and August of AA baseball. Now in June he wasn't good, and in September after he came off that base streak was real bad. Something is breaking.
Huge contract extension. Jacob
is it
Wilson,
that huge?
7 years, $70 million.
Is that the biggest deal in A's history?
No, I think Soderstrom still has it, but $70 million for 7 years. Jacob Wilson,
I'm
Where did
surprised.
the A's get money?
Vegas, obviously.
They
I mean,
can't be- they're not
they
gonna be
always-
allowed-
They
no, no,
can't
no.
be
They
Vegas.
can't
They
be called
always
that.
they always had the money. I think now they are finally truly deciding, let's spend it so we have a team by the time we get to wherever they get to in 2028.
Are they gonna go to Vegas and just not be the Vegas A's?
I
Be the-
imagine so. I know
something
recently.
else.
The Nevada A's.
I know recently they just uploaded the Las Vegas A's Instagram account, which they hadn't done. Like they hadn't had an Instagram account for the new team, but they had just uploaded that. So maybe they're figuring something out,
Surely
or they're at
they
least
can't
confident.
still be the Las Vegas A's though, because they don't own the copyright.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to call yourself the Las Vegas A's, because then if you go to make merchandise and the copyright isn't owned by you, you have to
Yeah.
pay somebody, or anybody can make it, wherever that copyright is, because the district, what was it, district courts, the
Something like that.
the FCC, something weird that was like they deal with copyrights. Who knew? But so I think, like Aiden said, you're more gonna get Nevada A's
Probably.
or maybe a
that
Nevada
just-
Aces.
that does
or
not
something
roll
like
off
that.
the tongue.
Whatever name they have, they are going to have a really good core going into it. I mean, they're going to have probably end of prime Brent Rooker. He'll probably be kind of down on his downturn by then. But you'll still have Leodalis DeVries if he pans out. Now you have Jacob Wilson, you have Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, and they've shown that they are going to try and sign people. I mean, pitching will always be an issue as long as they're in Sacramento. I think the Luis Severino situation tainted their chances of landing big free agent pitchers just because of everything he said about how horrible it was to pitch at Sacramento. So pitching will, I think, be an issue for a good couple years,
Mhm.
but the batting core definitely has a chance, especially if Jacob Wilson keeps on playing like he was, like just a batting average demon. I mean, he batted like 300 the entire year, even though he only had like a 320 OBP.
Yeah, he wasn't walking, but he was just slapping the ball around.
Similar to like a Luis Rise, but I think he has better defensive value than a Rise.
Do we think any of them fall off if they go to a new stadium that's not a AAA ballpark?
I think there's definitely chances
Yeah.
of it. Like I know Butler scares me for sure. I think because he had a really good year in 2024.
Yep.
He was not that great. It was a lot of strikeouts in 2025. He definitely is an interesting one. Soderstrom, whenever I first saw the signing, I wasn't convinced, but I think after looking more into it, I think it seems, and all these contracts very team friendly, I feel like, because overall, you're only getting 1 to 2 years. I think this one, it's only 1 extra year of free agency. The Soderstrom deal was 2 extra years of free agency, and Butler was also 2. So they're very team friendly. I think it's just a matter of locking up the contracts and knowing, okay, we are spending $21 million on these players this year, so we have the actual budget. I mean, arbitration, especially now, can be incredibly shaky, especially if Tariq Skubal gets his asking price of
Dodgers
$40
deal.
million in arbitration, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
I say you pay him though. Like I don't care if you're like the tech. I don't know why
they
you gotta
absolutely
be.
won't pay him.
You
but
have to pay that guy though. Like why would?
I think what was crazy to me was the offer that they gave him.
the
How are
Tigers
you?
have always been a laughable
Yeah.
arbitration team.
Like, how are you gonna offer a back-to-back Cy Young winner $10 million a year? That is, or it was like 10 to 14 something. It was
14, which was $2 million less than Verlander after Verlander didn't even win the Cy Young his
Yeah.
year when he was up in
It
arbitration in
just-
Detroit.
made no sense, especially to a player that you still want to re-sign, because especially since they are going to have to go to court. I've heard, like, I mean, I think everyone knows that the players absolutely hate going to court over arbitration because it's just that team that you play for trying to convince a judge that you're not worth that much.
I've always hated arbitration. Like it's like yeah, judge, like this player sucks and here's why I want to pay him less. And like that just does nothing but harm him. And like the Rangers have always been, they have like 26 straight
longest
years.
active no arbitration streak.
And they've never had to do that, which is I think is great. But like it does nothing good in my opinion.
The crazy part to me of arbitration is kind of like how we talked on the last podcast of the owner of the Bills being like, Coleman, it sucks.
Keon Coleman, he's not. I wouldn't have drafted him.
They wanted to draft, not me. I didn't want
Oh.
to draft him, but they wanted to draft him, so we had to. But we'll figure out how to get him better. Like that arbitration is the
Yeah.
same thing of like an ownership that's just like, yeah, we like you, we like paying you, we like marketing you to
Yeah.
get tickets and everything, but we don't want to pay you that much. You're not worth
Like,
it, really.
Especially it's especially egregious over the ones where it's like over $1 million. It's like the player wants 10 million, team wants 9 million, and they have to go to court and argue why they don't like the AAV or whatever stats and value that they pull up. Like it's like, oh well, like yeah, he wants 10 million, but his ex-WOBA is only 300, so we can't pay him that much.
yeah. That's just ridiculous. You know, we've gone over an hour, but we still got a few things I want to try to get to. NFL off season, you know, we're talking about the Super Bowl, but we've got some off season stuff. The Vikings fired their GM just before we went live on this, so I don't know what the heck's going on there because it seems pretty late to fire your GM
Yeah,
if you're the Vikings.
especially, I mean, I don't know why the people were so against re-signing Darnold, because I remember when that happened, people were like, well, no, we have JJ McCarthy, like we don't need Sam Darnold. I feel like people, I don't know if this is a media thing that they just kept pushing him. I feel like everyone forgot that JJ McCarthy wasn't
Was
that good in college.
Bad in college.
He got carried
Yes.
from that Michigan team. I mean, watch that national championship, and it's Blake Corum doing all the work.
Yep.
And like, I don't know where the McCarthy hype came from, because then all of a sudden people were like, oh no, he's going to be the best out of that rookie class. And it just never made sense to me. And then when he did do terrible against everyone that wasn't the Dallas Cowboys. It's just like it wasn't a surprise.
Unfair to Darnold too, because like he went out there and he proved himself. He led them to a great season. I was like, why not keep him around? Like I know you have McCarthy, who you think is going to be good, but you have a guy that's giving you results. Like why would you get rid of him?
And you know what's there's something to be said of that since McCarthy went down. If Darnold stayed in, does that team win the NFC North? More than likely, because the Packers
it does.
probably go down after all their injuries they have. The Bears only really won because of the games versus the Vikings. Like, does Seattle play as well as they have without Sam Darnold? Who knows?
They're running Geno Smith.
Would they have kept Geno? Because they got rid of him before they even had Sam Darnold. Yep. So who would they have run out there?
Yeah. Very interesting. I mean, I think it was another thing. I remember, like, at the beginning of the season when DeMarcus Lawrence was crapping on the Dallas Cowboys. He said, well, I wanted to go get a Super Bowl. And everyone laughed at that. And now he's gotten closer to a Super Bowl than the Cowboys have since the 90s. Like, just crazy.
Yeah. So, we got the Vikings getting rid of their GM. We got Harbaugh officially named the Giants head coach, but he wasn't hired by the team GM. He was hired by the owner, which is really weird to me. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
It's a little odd. I mean, the Giants showed that they can have something. I mean, I have mixed opinions on Jackson Dart, obviously, but they definitely show that they can be a competent team at times. But also, it's the Giants, so I don't know. It's shaky because
all New York teams right now seem like they have just a lame duck GM that really just does what the owner wants them to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Jets, the Giants, the Mets, the Yankees, the freaking Knicks, whoever it is, it feels like the GM doesn't run the team, the owner does.
At least
and
with
they're
the
terrible.
At least with the Mets, you can tell there's an attempt. But with like Yankees, when it's just trying to find whatever pitcher they can send to their pitching lab, it's kind of shaky. At least the Mets, I think, spend. I think that's the big thing.
It definitely spend it, and definitely helps out having a billionaire,
the richest owner,
as your owner, and Steve Cohen. But he definitely feels like he runs the team. It doesn't feel like they have a GM.
Yeah, I mean Stearns. Yeah, I think it's definitely kind of shaky with how much Stearns does control. But I think overall he's made the decisions that I feel like were more Stearns. Like, I feel like out of all the New York GMs, he's probably at least up there, which is low bar. But he, I think, has some control over the team. And you can tell that team has plans and has like an aspiration.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. The Mike McDaniel news, OC in the Chargers. Do we think that changes anything for the Chargers? No.
Not. I've lost faith in Herbert in the playoffs.
I was never a big Herbert guy out of college, so I don't think adding a coach. Yeah, he's offensively a genius, but I think it's his stuff has been kind of figured out by the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the whiz kid anymore.
Yeah.
I think he's just a guy.
Yeah, and then I think probably send a prayer out to any Steelers fans. I mean, you went from Mike Tomlin. Everyone like got super excited over a brand new head coach, and you got Mike McCarthy.
It's like
it's just like 9-8 all over again.
It's like that meme. It's like the guy, and then he's like, he didn't do anything but step back. Like it's literally like it's the same thing in my opinion. But like, who knows? It could be the change.
Well, they really only hired Mike McCarthy, I feel like, to try to entice Rodgers to stay one more year.
Because who are they gonna go with? Like,
well, the Steelers have had this notion since Big Ben retired of not developing any offensive players.
It's just been bridge guy after bridge guy. Like,
well, they should have taken Mason Rudolph, who's a prototypical NFL guy. I always talk about how the NFL likes these tall quarterbacks, and that's the only reason they get shots.
Yep.
Mason Rudolph's like 6'6". The only thing that Bad ever did was get hit in the helmet by Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he's known for,
I mean,
unfortunately.
Why didn't they develop him at all? They didn't like maybe McCarthy can at least do that. Maybe he can develop an offense. Maybe the defense starts to decline, but I guess it can't get worse than they had this year.
Yeah,
Their defense was terrible. But they didn't develop a single offensive guy. You can't name, like, sure, they had all these
Pickens.
weird 6-round guys of like AB or the running back I can't think of at the moment.
Najee Harris.
No,
Briarman.
before that.
Oh.
Running
Like
back.
the three, the
Bell.
killer bees.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
There you go.
They got lucky with those two guys, but I think that was more those guys just stepped up than them actually developing
yeah.
anything.
Yep.
They had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Maybe he developed them more than the Steelers.
I mean,
did,
with
but-
Bell and Brown, it helped that those guys were just like freaks. I mean, Antonio Brown was just like anytime the Cowboys played him, like it was just crazy to see him run around.
he was kind of a freak in college. He shouldn't have been a 6-rounder more than likely.
yeah.
So you're right there. Speaking of Cowboys, though, who do we think the Cowboys are going to take in the upcoming draft? We'll have more time to expand on this, but just super quick, who you got?
I mean, I don't think we will, but I would love for us to get Downs. I don't think we have the chance to, though.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah, a lot of people
Downs.
don't have us getting Downs. They have us getting the other other linebacker out of Ohio State and Styles.
Yeah.
But
I kind of want Reuben Bain, but I feel like he's not gonna fall.
yeah, that's another thing I've seen because the Cowboys have the 2 first round. They want Styles. They want Rubens Bain.
You could get Mesidor as well.
I don't know if they get either. I don't know if they get any. I
Don't
would
draft another O lineman named Tyler.
You know Jerry wants to. He's looking for a
Yeah.
Tyler out there.
2 out of the 3 have been good, and I think Guyton will get better. But like, just stop. Like,
I have this like
get rid of
just,
Terrence.
you
Steele.
know what I want the Cowboys to get, say, Styles and Bain, because that helps the defense. The defense gets better. But this ultimate, like, I've been a Cowboys fan type worry in the back of my head is that they're going to get like a linebacker, but somebody that's like maybe lesser.
Yeah.
They're going to reach really hard with the number 9 pick. And then with the 20 pick, they're going to take like a replacement to George Pickens rather than a defender. And we're just going to be the same team we were this year where it's like, oh, yay, we have a good linebacking core, but the DBs suck.
Yeah, I'd imagine we franchise tag Pickens. So I think looking for the replacement on Pickens is not going to happen. I think all signs point to us franchise tagging him for
he has
another
to
year.
stay.
I
no
don't
matter
know
what.
if they franchise tag him because he has the same agent as Parsons.
Yeah.
And clearly that agent and Jerry don't get along.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing with that whole situation. So we'll have to see. We'll have to dive back into it a little bit later. Alex, I know you're not a big hockey guy, but we got some Stars action the last few nights. Choking away leads in the third period has been the
goodness.
story of that Stars team. They have come out with 2 wins, but having big leads going into the third period and then just crapping the bed and going into overtime, going into a shootout, has led to some questions.
Yeah, can I cut in
team.
for that for a second?
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I like you said, when you have like a 3-goal lead like last night against Vegas, you should be able to hold on to a lead, which is a thing that the Stars have struggled with this season. Because you have to keep in mind this is the team you're going to be facing in the Stadium Series for next year, as well as a potential playoff opponent. So if you could just focus on like keeping an actual lead, it might help with advancing in the playoffs and stuff.
I like working out all the issues right now rather than at the end of the season or in the playoffs, having to try to figure this kind of things out. But I don't think the Stars will play Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think it'll work
because
out that
Vegas,
way.
I don't think gets out of the first round of the playoffs.
Vegas has to make it to round 3 for them to play the Stars.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about Vegas in the playoffs this year. Finally,
I think I have a
but-
couple things. So the Blues game was kind of stupid because like the goal that
the offsides.
Fabry scored shouldn't have counted,
Yeah,
and then the second goal that Shen scored, Harley tried to clear it out and it hit the ref. So
yeah.
2 goals from the ref basically.
But you're gonna have to deal with that in the playoffs too.
Well, and then like last night against the Golden Knights, I mean, honestly, I was pretty pissed that I had to stay up like an extra 30 minutes. But like, honestly, I'm kind of a guy that's like, I don't care as long as we win. Like, it was frustrating, but it was nice to win. But another thing, I think uncomfortable conversations need to be had about Jake Ottinger because he has not been.
That's
that
a
good this
take
year.
I haven't heard.
Like, I'm a Jake Ottinger fan, but like games like this where he's giving up like 3 or 4 goals, and then like they were all like to the same blocker side. I remember some people on Twitter were like, "Oh, he sucks. He can't defend the blocker side." And then like you look at the numbers. I mean, he's barely kept it over a 900 save percentage. Like he's supposed to be the franchise guy, and he has at times, but he hasn't taken that next step, and he's actually regressed this year.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Aiden. I would like to say that the goaltending for Dallas has been very iffy. I feel more trust in DeSmith than Andre this year.
Smith's been a dog this
Yeah,
year.
DeSmith as a backup has been playing better than Andre. I don't know what's been going on with him, but maybe if you like bench Andre and maybe like allow DeSmith to play some more, you could like maybe help rest up Andre to make sure.
I wouldn't go as far as benching Ottinger, but I would give DeSmith more chances.
The thing I think is Ottinger doesn't see a lot of shots.
Yeah.
The Stars do a really good job of blocking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But then they give up some of the easiest backdoor plays that you see.
Ottinger
in,
does
like,
get
junior
kind of
hockey
he does
almost.
get kind of shafted where it'll end up like right out in front in the slot, and he has like no chance to defend it. Like the first goal the Golden Knights scored last night was another funky deflection that it was what Keegan Colasar happened to get like right out in front. I'm like,
Well,
okay, that's not his fault.
The Stars got caught in their own zone.
Oh yeah,
forward,
that happens a lot. for
Forward
them.
playing the puck down low, which shouldn't happen. They turn it over, easy 1 goal. I mean, it helped the Stars. The same thing happened with the second Maverick Bork goal.
Yep.
Jamie does some work down low, gets thrown right out by Rope Hintz. Easy goal for him. Aiden
Yep.
Hill looks like an idiot, or whatever you
Yep.
want to say, for not being able to make that save. But it's again not on the goalie, and I feel like that's the thing with Ottinger.
Yeah.
He doesn't make 5 saves out of 20 shots. He only sees those 20 shots, and his save percentage is low. His goals against average is high, which isn't good. But anytime you see a breakaway on him, he's making the save.
Yeah, in the shootout, he's really, really good. And I'm going into the shootout last night. I'm like, okay, if Robertson scores, like we're gonna win this. Like Ottinger never loses shootouts, but like that last goal that Ottinger gave up, like I really thought was kind of ridiculous because it's Mitch Marner wristing it from the point. I'm like, how do you let that in? Like,
I mean, there's something to be said. Maybe Otter needs a different goalie coach
yeah,
or
that could be it.
something, because the Stars have had the same goalie coach for, I think, 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And we've basically had the same goalie for 25 years since Turco, with a guy who can make some insane saves but gives up 4 easy ones a night. Even the Ben Bishop era kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could definitely go with Carly Lettinen, the same thing. But I trust Ottinger as
In the playoffs,
the
yes.
Stars' main guy. I think they just need to get a defender to help out.
Yes, I
because
agree.
it's clearly that the lesser lines, Lindell, Heiskanen can do anything defensively, But when you get to Thomas Harley, Harley is not a true 3. He's more like
Yeah.
a 4-5. I really, really like the way he plays, but he's a 4 or 5. He's
Yeah.
not a true 3. And so we need a true number 3. And Rasmus Anderson would have been a great addition. Now he's playing in Vegas, but he doesn't seem like he's helping them. So
I've heard
who knows
they're
what
trying
they're
to get
gonna do?
they're trying to get Kadri from the Flames, and then there's like one.
There's
there's a-
Kadri and Panarin rumors
I
for
don't
the
want.
Stars.
I don't want to get.
and
Panarin.
I don't want either.
I don't want Panarin.
I like the forwards. I think we need a little bit of a help for the Stars, but I think it's all defensively. I know Sagan being down and not being probably available for the playoffs is probably
It hurts the depth.
hurts the
forwards quite a
depth,
bit.
but I like Bork. I think you could add a lot of people back into the lineup that can make up for Sagan being on. I don't think you can sustain the 6 defensemen they have. As much as I like the Stars and like the 6 guys they've got, I would prefer to get a number 3, number 4, whatever to help that
Bischel
defense.
coming back will help.
Bischel coming back will definitely help, but he's still super young.
Yeah.
I would rather have him be a option in the playoffs or the 6th guy in the playoffs. Extra defenseman. We play 7 defensemen, only skate 15 forwards, something like that, rather than trying to. Oh, we need more offense. We definitely don't need more offense because we always have Moose to come in and do something big or anything like that. But moving on, we'll keep it going. Why not? Mavs lose again last night, even though Cooper Flag puts
yeah,
up
Cooper Flag, awesome.
what 49, 50?
49, best
49.
best performance by a
teenager
teenager.
game.
Yeah.
Like, how do they do that? Every single game they lose by like 3 to 5 points, like within the final seconds. I'm like, I'm at a loss for words. Like, it's so frustrating every single night.
Should it be more like, we're talking about the Stars being disappointing by winning close games. Should we be happier that the Mavs are being close? Because it feels like with the roster they have, other than Cooper Flag, that maybe they should be
I think
losing by like 20 or 30 like
yeah,
they
I think this
were at the
team is
beginning
a-
of the season.
I think it's a bottom 3 team without Cooper Flag. I mean, I like players like Anthony Davis, or not Anthony Davis, PJ Washington. I like the potential that Nemhard and
Christie's been
Moose
great.
and Musa have shown. But yeah, it's not a team that should be contending for anything.
And that's why I'm saying, since they're having close losses, should we be more excited
I think
it
by
should
them
be.
or anything like that?
I think it should. This is definitely a year where you got to celebrate the small things and just celebrate Cooper Flag's development. I think this, especially, is the fact that they've pretty much said that Kyrie is done for the season. They aren't planning to bring him in. This season is a lost cause. Obviously, it sucks because we have Anthony Davis, who isn't getting any younger. But I think this is just one of those years where you kind of had to take the fact that we can beat teams like the Denver Nuggets, even though we'll go ahead and lose to the Charlotte Hornets the next week.
Like, sure, it's like, oh yeah, we're keeping teams close, but like as a fan, it's like I want to see my team win. Like, it's frustrating.
Sure, but when you get the number 1 pick overall, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
expecting
That
a lot of
was so
winning. I know
lucky,
some
though.
teams, go on some insane streaks after getting the number 1 pick.
I mean,
or things,
with the
but
teams like the Spurs, I mean, how long have they been? I mean, they had a couple years where even though they were getting these top picks and they were getting like players like Wemby, they still weren't competing. This is the first year where they truly are competing. I mean, same with the Thunder. It took a couple of years of rebuilding and a long time of being pretty bad until now they have a super team that's falling apart right now, but still a team that of really good players. And while they might be in a ton of trouble once these players start hitting free agent contracts, for the most part, they have set themselves up for at least a championship run. I mean, no matter how the rest of it goes, they won a title, so it
Just
doesn't matter.
Imagine if the Spurs had won the lottery and gotten Cooper Flag. Like, that would genuinely, like, because Dylan Harper
who
hasn't
should have
been that
won the
great.
lottery?
It
Like, if we just went
was-
on percentage.
I believe it was the Wizards.
the Wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
the Wizards-
NBA rigging the lottery so that they could have their star go to LA. It's
Yeah.
happened multiple times.
You gotta feel bad for the Wizards because they got Sisher or whatever his name is.
Researcher.
Sisher, so, however you say it, and he hasn't been that great for number 1 pick. And then they get screwed. They didn't even get like a top 3 pick last year, and now they're just stuck.
Well, it's because their owner pisses off the
Yeah.
NBA, so they never get rewarded or anything like that.
Yep.
But what are you gonna do? The Mavs. Did I see? Did y'all see? I swear I saw on Twitter that the Mavs were working on a trade for Anthony Davis to go to the
So,
Warriors.
They
is
were
that
like,
real?
I don't think so because
Okay.
the report. I mean, I know like ESPN was every single day was like, so are they going to be trading Anthony Davis or not? And I think for a minute they were leaning towards yes, and they were getting offers from teams like the Hawks, and I forgot what the other team was, but I know the Hawks was the main one, and there's another team, and like there was talks about like Alexander Sarr coming to Dallas and stuff like that, but I think what the Mavericks wanted was way too high, and then once Davis got hurt again, I think teams were just like, we're good.
I think you have to trade him for whatever value you can get at this point. Like, the experiment is over. It's just a giant distraction. Like, yeah, sure, he's a great player, and I like having him on the team when he's healthy, but seeing him go down every third play is like, it's like, my gosh, you just want to like rip your hair out, and it's like it's so tiring to just see him get hurt. And like I call him Anthony Day to Davis because like that's literally him. Like I saw something, it was like 84 different body parts injured in his career. Like it's like it. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Like he literally cannot stay healthy. He's made of glass.
Yeah, like as much as it would have been really cool to see what a Cooper Flag, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis trio looks like, I just don't see it happening where we get a good enough amount of games like with that trio to where it's worth it.
Kyrie and AD played like 20 total minutes together, which is just so sad, in my opinion.
Well, also, I don't think you need a big man in the NBA anymore. I mean,
Basketball's
Wembanyama
positionless at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Wembanyama is a big man, but he doesn't. He plays up at the point. He's draining threes. Like everybody drains a three. You need just you can
Nobody,
put just a bunch of shooters on a team and go on a hot run.
That's what
so.
the Celtics did. I mean, like,
yeah.
with their 5-out offense. I mean, literally, there's not a single player in the NBA that can't shoot a three. I mean, maybe there's some that they're not good, but like, there's not like a Ben Simmons. Like, I feel like literally every NBA player can at least hit a three if called upon at this point. Like,
sure. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure out the Mavericks situation whenever they decide to figure it out. But also, while we got just keep going over and over and over, Alex and I care about wrestling. Yeah. Well, we want to talk a little wrestling on the podcast, so why not? You got the Royal Rumble this Saturday. Also, for the non-WWE people out there like me, Tommaso Ciampa just came in on Wednesday.
So cool.
He looked awesome. He had an awesome
awesome.
theme. And then the heart at the beginning of his Titantron, everybody was like, what is this heart?
When
it was Tommaso, I was like, oh, he's because he's the black heart. It was so good.
I was really scared it was Karrion Kross. Whenever they started showing, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been excited. When I saw Psycho and I was like, is it Psycho? And then it said Killer, I was like, I literally like jumped off my couch. I was so excited. Luckily, my fiance wasn't home, so I could be loud for wrestling. But Rumble this Saturday in Saudi Arabia is at a weird time, which I don't like that it's at a weird time. And
I would like to interrupt and ask: have any of you guys attended a dwarf wrestling match?
oh boy.
I really want to.
I have not. There's a
Oh my
bunch
God.
in DFW.
They happen all the time. It's around Louisville, Plano.
Yeah.
That I mean, I went to about 2 WWE matches, and the midget wrestling, it comes close. I mean, nowhere near the crowd or hype, but it's just as entertaining. It's insane. They go crazy for it.
We'll have to maybe take a class trip
to
to dwarf wrestling or
That would
anything
be-
like that.
I would be down.
That would be fun. I am definitely not a WWE guy anymore, so I'm all about the independents and AEW kind
Yeah.
of scene. So sure, But Rumble this Saturday.
I think that's like that and like Mania are the two pay-per-views. Like if you're not a you still check out those.
I completely agree. If you have, so it used to be the big four.
Yeah.
Of the Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor
SummerSlam.
Series, and SummerSlam. But I feel like SummerSlam, Survivor Series have kind of lost it.
Yeah. Like
But
War
the
Games was
Rumble
cool,
and Mania
but-
always, it's like I gotta turn it on.
Yeah.
I gotta see what's happening as a wrestling fan.
That's always the one too. If I ever want to have friends, because none of my friends watch wrestling, but that is one I can convince them. Like this one's fun. Like the Rumble is, you can have a good time.
Was it? I believe last year. Yeah, last year at the Brahmas, we were watching the Rumble in between periods. So we go to the break at the Brahmas, where we turn on the Rumble in between periods while we're waiting for the Zamboni to go and everything. And all the press guys are watching the Rumble, and Jake Hollis, who was part of this crew for Overtime and everything over the past several years, was watching it. He's not into movies, really. He's not into like big comics, nothing, but he started just watching wrestling with us there, and Rumble made him actually start going and looking up matches on YouTube
that's
and stuff,
awesome.
and he's watched a lot more wrestling because of watching the Rumble. So it gets people hyped
Yeah.
because you get this fun interaction with 30 different participants, whether it's the men or the women's matches.
Right.
But who we got, Alex? Men's winner.
Men's
Rumble.
winner. I'm worried it's going to be Cody Rhodes. I'm terrified of
Oh,
it being
boy.
Cody Rhodes, and I'm terrified of it being Roman Reigns. I don't like
I
those
don't
are
want
the
either
two
of those.
where if it's any of them, I'm going to be really mad. I would like to see someone like a Breaker win it, but I don't see it happening. I think probably Sami Zayn, which I would like. I'm a one of the rare Sami Zayn truthers still there. I'm still a big Sami Zayn fan, and I wouldn't hate seeing him win.
He won't get pushed, in my opinion. I would love to see Sammy win. I've been a Sammy guy from when he debuted in NXT.
Yeah.
I was a big NXT black and gold guy.
I mean, that's the
which
best.
is why I love Tommaso in
Yeah.
AEW. But I've got, even though he has got a different match, I've got Gunther,
Ooh.
formerly Walter,
I could see
winning it.
I could see that happening if Styles wins. If Styles wins against Gunther in that retirement match.
I think he
You think he does
destroys Styles.
What?
I don't think it's a contest. So I think he does the full thing he did versus Cena, completely owns the match, makes him tap out, whatever he does. Styles retires. Because I think Styles' retirement match actually was his match on Saturday Night Main Event
That was
with
such a good match.
Nakamura, where they recalled the Wrestle
Yeah.
Kingdom match.
That
That
was
was
Awesome.
I think that was actually his retirement match. That's why they went out and did that match. But then you got Gunther. He'll go just destroy Styles. Styles retires. Then he comes in to the Rumble at like 27. You know, the lucky number
Yeah.
27 if you're a wrestling fan. He comes in, makes some 4 or 5 cool eliminations and wins. And that gives you a fresh thing that he can do during WrestleMania. Because what is he going to do during Mania? Because supposedly he's going to retire Brock at SummerSlam because it's
right.
in Minneapolis. That's where Brock's going to retire. But you got to give him something to do at Mania. So why not have him
Yeah.
go after a championship? Then Brock could
I mean-
chase a championship into SummerSlam, and that's where he retires. Career versus title kind of thing.
I think because like the way I see it happening, because I think you absolutely do have to give Gunther a championship match, because setting all this up and having him destroy all these legends. I mean, he retired Goldberg, which isn't a huge thing now, but like he retired a formerly really popular wrestler in Goldberg, retired John Cena, probably going to retire AJ Styles. I mean, I think Nakamura accidentally leaked that he was going to retire.
Yes.
But I like, and having all that just to not have him have a title match or anything big at Mania seems weird. But what I think happens is I think he doesn't go into the Rumble. I think he wins Chamber, because I think the idea of having
Okay.
him start number 1 in Elimination Chamber and just tear through a bunch of people makes him look more dominant than coming in at 27. Because I like when I hated whenever during his world title run and they made him like some like chickeny heel and he was like scared of Jey Uso. Like
Sure.
it that was dumb. I think they've kind of realized it's just making him be a menacing kind of of a prick, but like still very dominant. That works better, and it works better with having him dominate in Elimination Chamber than last second Royal Rumble.
I'm actually going to reverse so you think Sammy will win the Rumble. I think Sammy goes on like a Mustafa Ali type run in the chamber, and just the full Daniel Bryan treatment of a chamber kind of thing.
Yeah.
He survives everybody, doesn't dominate, just barely finds a way to win. He then picks up the chamber. Then you can give him a match at Mania. He won't win it ever because they won't ever push him. But that could be your chamber story. You give the dominant win to Gunther at the Rumble to set up him announcing his presence for a title, everything like that.
I still believe in Sammy because there's no way you can have a character just be all about, I need to eventually win a world title, and just never have him win a world title. But that's a fair.
Yeah, you never know. The other big question for you, does Jericho debut back in WWE?
Yeah, feed him to Gunther. Let him retire.
Come back.
If he does, I mean, I'm not going to be too excited. I think I don't think he comes during the Rumble. I believe they said that his contract doesn't expire until the end of the month. So, I mean, unless they work something out, because I know AEW's made a ton of signings recently, which makes me think they shed a really big contract off, which first thing I could think of would be Gunther's. I don't think Powerhouse Hobb was making that much. So, I mean, I could maybe see something happening with him returning. I don't think he does anything big. I mean, maybe he just has a couple months.
It would be a cool entrance.
Yeah, that's
and we know the Saudi Arabian prince really dictates things.
And modern day WWE is bigger about moments than storylines.
Yes,
so
that's why I don't love WWE right now.
It's
because it's a TikTok.
Yeah.
That they want to create rather than creating like memorable matches or anything like that.
I think so far this year, maybe it's just because they're building towards its WrestleMania season, so the booking always gets a little bit better. This year's felt a little more focused so far.
Sure.
Like, I think from the start of the month and like the first, because like the weekly shows are actually watchable again. End of the year, the weekly shows. I mean, I always work during those days, but watching the highlights, it was so boring.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a little more focus this year, and it gives me some optimism that we get more of 2023, 2024-ish WWE than we did 2025 WWE, which was really terrible, and I barely watched.
I lived through the 2010s.
I mean,
era
I grew
Raw,
up on 2017 Raw,
anonymous GM,
Raw.
So anything's better than that era. That era was, rough.
I grew up with the Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre faction. Like, so I've seen
group of guys. The League of Nations.
The League of Nations.
That was
like
awesome.
I lived through the Bobby Lashley, Rusev, love triangle storyline.
Yeah, the weird Vince has lost his mind time.
Yeah. So like it's never been that bad, and also we have an alternative now because AEW is just on all cylinders right now.
Yes,
it's so fun to watch. So
yes, they have tons of challengers for MJF. That's made me super excited this week. The ending,
dude, Andrade
looked awesome. Then you had Swerve looking awesome in defeat, even but Hangman, Omega, all of them showing up and looking at MJF. Then you also have Brody King hunting MJF, and MJF just running scared. That's awesome. Great story going on there. But going back to the Rumble, who you got for the women?
Liv Morgan. I mean, that's probably the only I could see.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that they've really built up, unless they really want to push Jordynne Grace, which I would love. Big Jordynne Grace fan. I don't think they push her that much yet.
Yeah, they could shock everybody. WWE does like to do this. It was more the Vince era that they did this. They just go, okay, everybody expects you to win, so we're going to make it look like you're going to win, but then we're actually going to have this person win.
Yeah, or the 2025 Rumble, Men's Rumble, Jey Uso.
Yeah, they just go with the predictable thing. The moments of the yeet. But they the women doesn't feel exciting for the Rumble. They've done a really great job with the tag division. The NXT women,
the women's tag division has been the best ever.
But the singles,
it's been
Rumble build has been rough.
I think both Rumbles have had some weird builds.
Liv is the only answer currently, unless there's a surprise comeback or debut that shocks everybody, and that's who wins.
I could see a Belair returning and winning. that would be. I could be okay with that.
Belair, like Nikki Bella.
Bianca Belair.
Oh, Bianca
Yeah.
Belair.
She's been gone since last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see that happening. But I think Morgan, I mean, that makes the most sense, especially with the story of her being like the runner-up for like 3 straight years now. I mean, I think that you could tell a story with that through
You could
the
have
Rumble.
Saraya or Paige come
I
back.
don't think she does. I honestly don't see her coming back.
I feel like she could get one just more run in WWE because she never got
yeah,
ended on her terms in WWE. She came back for AEW and never really worked out. But
yeah,
something she fits more WWE style. And
definitely. I mean, she was
obviously, the
definitely a weird
WWE would
fit.
love to push the movie they made about her,
Yeah.
Fighting with My Family. It's a decent movie if you want to go check it out. But they did some things. So, but we'll talk more wrestling, everything on this podcast later on. I know we haven't heard from Aiden for a minute, so we're also running out of time. The school day is almost over. It's almost 3:00 local time, so we got to get this up on YouTube. But for all of us here, for the control room, for Alex, for Aiden, I've been Mr. Beals, and this has been the Press Box. We'll see you next time.